Neurodivergent people who desperately want to fit in and desperately want to be loved and accepted by anyone and everyone around them are the most easy to manipulate. They will bend over backwards for anyone and anything in order to feel some sense of love and validation. And this is when they are most likely to get used, taken advantage of, or come up with chronic health conditions because they are running themselves thin and prioritizing themselves last and prioritizing everybody else around them first, solely relying on external validation for their worth and just really wanting to be loved and accepted in order to feel worthy. So the more a neurodivergent person relies on internal sources of validation and building their confidence up from the inside out, because you cannot have confidence when you are relying on external sources of validation. If you are always relying on external sources of validation, then you don't have confidence. Even if you show that you have confidence and you have outward appearing confidence, you don't have true internal confidence. True internal confidence comes from a place of internal validation and knowledge and a sense of like calmness and ease that you have the answers that you need, and if you don't, you will find them, but you are not looking for validation from anybody else. So when a neurodivergent person no longer needs that external source of validation, when they are no longer desperately relying on fitting in and getting validation from other people, that is when they can become truly confident and when they are no longer easily manipulated. I say this as somebody who is a neurodivergent, who used to try to fit in and used to be highly masking and mirroring other people, trying to fit in, but never really feeling like I truly belonged anywhere. I say this as somebody who has grown past that, like not fully. It's not like a black and white thing. It's not an overnight flip the switch, but it is a process to rely more on internal validation. And I used to see way too much neurodivergent content that was just relatable content about the struggles of being a neurodivergent. And yes, there are so many valid struggles about being a neurodivergent, but that is what I found myself going down rabbit holes of content on the internet. It was a bunch of relatable content about being a neurodivergent, but I'm like, okay, so is it just like all a shitstorm fire hole of hell, like just being neurodivergent? I'm like, I don't feel like my whole life has been terrible. Like, yeah, I feel like I do relate to a lot of this stuff, but I don't feel like it's been completely terrible. That's why I post the kind of content that I post, because while yes, there are things that are relatable, you can grow out of being a neurodivergent who is easily manipulated, unless you want to stay easily manipulated your whole life, because you can be easily manipulated in your relationships, in your job, in the fitness industry. You could be easily manipulated into so many different things. That's such a victim mindset to have, of like, okay, well,